Speaker for today, who is Captain Ritesh Kumar, the founder and CEO of Broadside Marine. Captain Ritesh is a recognized expert of the fourth edition of Mooring Equipment Guidelines, that's MEG4. He has extensive experience assisting vessel operators with mooring reviews and related documentations since the inception in 2018. He has successfully supported over 800 vessels in achieving ongoing MEG compliance. Today, he will be talking about manifestations of MEG4, rope to realities, in the current situation and in the future landscape. Ladies and, gentlemen, I'm sorry, I'm the only lady in the room. Gentlemen, please welcome on stage Mr. Captain Ritesh Kumar.
Good evening, ladies. Sorry, again. Good evening, gents. First of all, I welcome you again and thank you for taking time out on a busy weekday. Uh, Before I start, I must say that whatever I was going to discuss and whatever script I have prepared, actually, it has been covered in bits and pieces by previous three speakers. So it will be a challenge for me to keep things interesting, but I'll try my best. Uh, well, I started my sea career just like any one of you. I joined sea in 1996, and at those time, my knowledge for mooring was very limited. For me, stronger ropes means safer mooring. Simple. For example, if we order a rope with MBL of say 80 tons, and we received a rope with the MBL of say 100 tons, then it looked like that we are winning the game. Yeah. But sailing out at sea, then I came ashore. I started a consultancy company, and after a while, MEG4 happened. Suddenly, the world of mooring was no longer the same. As we were already in touch with many vessel operators, we started getting a lot of basic questions like, wait, what is this SDMBL thing? And what happens, I mean, do we have to replace all the ropes, entire lot of ropes overnight, or have our ships become unsafe overnight just because our ropes are not meeting the minimum or maximum MBL criteria? All these questions were keeping us engaged. It was like OCIMF suddenly changed the rules of the game overnight, and vessel operators were left trying to catch up but without a rule book. And to make things more entertaining, even the classification societies were caught off guard. They were getting queries to explain the terminologies, which, first of all, was never coined by them. Though OCIMF tried to build bridges, they did publish a standard set of questions and answers to clarify the doubts of ship operators, but then these question and answers were put on website and then one day quietly removed from the website without any further help. IMO and right ships soon joined the party, casually borrowing MEG4 terminologies like they were sharing notes before the exam and expecting vessel operators to just figure it out. Now, don't get me wrong, MEG4 is de facto the Bible of mooring. But it's like reading a sacred text without a translator. It brought in concepts that needed a lot more explanation, especially from the people who has published it at the very first place. Even all oil majors couldn't agree at one very common point. For example, minimum MBL of ropes required. If you see MESQUAC and MEG4, their requirement for minimum MBL of ropes is still different. In fact, I tried reaching MESQUAC for that, but I have not got any response so far. However, the best part which I like in MEG4 is the risk-based approach. Yes, MEG4 has made many rules. They have quantified a lot of things. They have tried to put a lot of things in the brackets, but they also advocate a risk-based approach. If things are on the line, then there is a way out if you conduct a proper risk assessment, support it with calculations, present it, save it, then there is a way out of just the blanket compliance. I believe this also encourages the R&D and the newer technologies to come in the world of mooring, right? We just can't keep just following the rules. Uh, Before me, one of the questions were asked, that, okay, as a rope maker, for example, Dyneema or Lankhost, they are doing a lot of R&D, and they are making a better material day by day. But if some port or some authority puts a timeline, okay, nothing doing, just retire your ropes after 5 years. Now, what encouragement would a rope maker or a fiber maker would have, right? Okay, now I would like to talk something about the SDMBL. Since the inception of MEG4, this word is something which is very, very much widely used. You know, this seems to be mystical value which even confuses the seasoned professionals. Now, I keep getting questions that how do we determine the SDMBL? How do we calculate the SDMBL? But I always keep saying that SDMBL is something which need not be calculated, which has to be determined, but it has to be better assigned. I repeat, SDMBL is a value which has to be determined through various criteria, but the assignment of SDMBL has to be smart. This value of SDMBL should be such that it should be, of course, safe, regulatory compliant, and most importantly, practical for seafarers. Right? Well, SDMBL is like sun around the rest of the MEG4 solar system. If you get the value of SDMBL wrong, then the entire universe starts to wobble. Thankfully, the tanker industry is started to settle down, but guess what? The dry sector cargo is next. Sorry. RightShip and IMO are already knocking on their doors. Dry cargo vessels are now entering the compliance landscape, and it is essential that all stakeholders prepare for this transition and with clarity and coordination. Meanwhile, third-party inspectors have started taking a deep dive approach. Remember, MEG4 is a 360-page odd document, and if you start reading line by line, I don't think there will be any existing vessel which can comply with MEG4 100%. We have done more than 800 vessels so far. I still have to see an existing tanker or dry vessel which can comply with MEG4 100%. I haven't found so far. I'm talking about the existing vessels. Now, let's talk about some gray areas. Now, MEG4 has given us a lot of information, but there are some information which are still, I would consider them as a gray area. One very interesting topic which has been talked again and again on this platform is the residual strength testing of the mooring lines. Now we all are talking about it, it means there is something which is not understood, right? Another gray area is a very, very common, procedure about the inspection regimes of mooring lines. Now, no regulatory authority, whether IMO, MEG4, RightShip, you name any authority, they do not quantify any fixed inspection regime of mooring lines, whether it is mooring hawsers or whether it is wire ropes or any other type of ropes. Basically, it is left to the vessel operators and rope makers to decide between them, or just do what others are doing. Sometimes I feel ropes are just like experienced seafarers. They look fine, they work just fine, but then nobody trusts them after a certain age. Then we have ports and terminals who sometimes make mooring even more interesting. We have one representative here from the port. Uh, I hope he doesn't get offended. But they publish rules which don't always reflect with the operational realities of the world. Just imagine, a ship manager or a vessel operator passes every inspection, invests in premium set of mooring ropes, updates procedure, trains the crew, only to get rejected by a terminal because the MBL doesn't match their spreadsheet limits, say by 2 tons or 4 tons. Frustrating, isn't it? Well, with this, I will close my speech. See, the mooring world has changed, and definitely for the better. But we have still got a long way to go. Dry cargo vessels will soon follow tankers into the compliance maze, especially with IMO Circular 1620 kicking in and right ships applying pressure day by day. Mooring may not be the most glamorous part of shipping, but it is one of the most critical, and it deserves our full attention, sound judgment, and continuous learning. Now, after working for a good number of years in field of moorings and with good number of vessels on this subject, one thing is very clear to me, that mooring operations are steadily becoming safer and better understood. Today, chief officers and managers are sure they are far more aware and far more equipped than I was during my tenure, right? And that's a reassuring sign for the future. With this, I close my speech.